Hey YouTube, this is Prepper 1. Yesterday was a very exciting day and not in a good sense. It was about 7:35. I had earlier gotten up about 6 and got something to eat, took some vitamins, and went back to bed. I'm trying to kick this thing that's got a hold of me. About 7:35, I was sleeping and kaboom, lightning strike. I definitely jumped out of bed, the lights went off, which the lights go out a lot of times with lightning strikes around here. And I throw some pants on, throw a shirt on, and run down the stairs. At the time of the strike, my son's family's dog was on the front porch, and it let out the biggest, craziest yelp I've ever heard. I actually thought the dog was actually hit by lightning. So I run outside. I don't know where the dog is, and that wasn't my first concern. I run off the porch and turn left, look down the driveway, and I could see smoke in the driveway farther down. So I tear off down that way. It is pouring, monsooning rain. So I get to the end, and there's the shop, and exactly above where I put that shelter, that improvised shelter, there's a large cloud of smoke there. So I immediately looked down at my buddy's shed. That looked fine from the outside, so I run into the shop. Smell smoke, definitely smell smoke, but there was smoke out in the yard. I mean, you could see a huge, about 10 to 12 feet off the ground, a large smoke. So definitely evidence that a strike actually hit the ground, hit a building, hit something. So I run through the shop, checking that, don't see anything obvious. I was a firefighter for 5 years for our local volunteer firefighter, so I've responded to a lot of lightning strikes on buildings. And they're really hard to find the problem sometimes. So we use a thermal imager, and we scan the wall, scan everything, trying to find a hot spot. At this point, the phone's out, and I'm, getting close to calling 911 if I saw any evidence. A lot of times with a lightning strike and you hit electrical, it might not show up right away, but you got to be very thorough in checking everything. So I run over to my son's house and check that. Absolutely nothing wrong in there, no smoke inside there. So I come back to the shop. By the time that happened, the wife is down here helping me look at stuff. I then send her back to the house just to keep checking the house. I don't know where the hit happened. It might have been multiple hits. I don't know. But I know there was smoke near the ground, so it had to happen very close. It also blew out the transformer on the street, and that was an older transformer. So they did come and replace that, put some lightning arrestor thing on top of the transformer, put like a barrel fuse that drops down, has to be reset. So that was good. So it got me thinking. We did suffer some damages. The stove got fried. Luckily, it was an older stove, and we were getting ready to replace it with something. I was trying to talk my wife into a propane stove. Luckily, my buddy was replacing his propane stove, and he gave me his old propane stove, and I was going to put that in the shop. And it's a very beautiful, but it's stainless steel. My wife wanted white. So for now, we have a stainless steel one, black and stainless steel. It is not what she really wants, but we need to put that in there anyways, because that was going to be our backup plan. And we were going to use a smaller propane tank to feed that in a grid down situation. So that's in there right now. I have to get everything hooked up. If she probably won't settle for that one, I don't blame her. My wife is not a picky person at all, but she likes the flat top stoves. So we'll probably replace it, but now we're going to be set for grid down situation. We can swap those two stoves out and put a propane in there. Propane stoves use very little fuel. They are awesome. So it fried the TV, fried a GIF in the bathroom, it fried a light above the sink, took out the TV, took out the power to this building. We're on that solar generator right now running all the lights in here. That's why I think you're going to see that shimmy across your thing. It's from the lights and on the solar backup. We got lucky. So I'm going to have to replace the main line coming to this building. But we had no fire. The biggest thing was the TV. Let me tell you about the TV. We have gone through 6 or 7 TVs. They always blow out. We are in a high area for lightning. I have got with my buddy, and we're going to put a bunch of lightning arrestor stuff on the house. We're going to reground everything. So that should help. Plus, I think the biggest problem was the old equipment on a telephone or on the power pole. What did this teach me? It taught me a lot. I tried to call my dad. He didn't answer. His phone is broken, so he's relying on my mother's phone. So, hey, Dad, you need to get another phone. Called my neighbor. Didn't get an answer there. Called my other buddy. Finally got him. Luckily, no damage, but I learned a lot. First of all, it would have been great if my son was home at this time, but he was at work. And it was just me and my wife right here, really. So, firefighting. Need to get some of the pumps ready to go. And my goal now is, if I'm by myself, to flow water in 2 minutes. From 0 to 120 to have water flowing. See, in the country, we lost power, so we lost our well. That's an easy fix. I have hoses everywhere. But I need to upgrade my water system to make it be able to flow water quicker. So I'm going to definitely do that. I have lots of fire extinguishers. Sometimes you have to take an axe and go into your wall. If you get an electrical fire inside it, you got to get to the source. You don't want it to burn and burn and burn out. Also, you see, I like file cabinets. I like everything in file cabinets. It does a few things. It's definitely a little bit more fireproof. Everything's in there. Stuff like that. So my goal now, and when I get my shop finished, I will have more room. Everything needs to be inside a file cabinet. File cabinets are cheap. That way, if a fire breaks out, it's very easy. It's to deal with it because there's not clutter. And having a lot of stuff stored is clutter. I keep it as neat as possible, but still, it is definitely a fire hazard because there's more fire load. There's more things that can burn in here. So I need to fix that, get water flowing. But other than that, there's not much else I could do. Lightning strikes, you can't control it. I am going to move one of my 1,600-gallon tanks up near the road. So in the worst case, I will be able to let the firefighter engine have my 1,600 gallons. Normally, a fire truck has 400 or 500 gallons on it. It relies on in the city, on the fire hydrants, or out in the country, it relies on tanker trucks. Or technically, they're called tenders, but they're fire tankers. Tenders moving back and forth. And they can carry 1,000, 1,500 gallons around here. So if I have 1,600 gallons, I give that fire engine a lot of water to work with to suppress the fire immediately, so they are not waiting for a water tender. So just look at your house. Everything could be fine, but a direct strike from lightning can definitely wreck your day. You might need to, if you have a couple outbuildings, move some of your critical supplies around. So if one building gets hit, you don't lose all your food or all your ammo. So definitely diversify, and I'm working on that. I've showed you the underground caches that are awesome to use the oil drums. Maybe I'll try to find a link to that video. It's been a long time. Putting a few more of those around the property to safeguard supplies would be critical and important. So it was an exciting time running around trying to figure out if we have a fire inside a wall, on top of a building. So look at your fire plan. Thanks for watching.